Welcome to the Truth Dark Psychology. Today we cross the world's most secretive border and step into the mind of Kim Jong-un, a leader shrouded in mystery, surrounded by myth, and infamous for his unpredictable power. What fuels the psychology of a man who commands absolute loyalty through terror, spectacle, and manipulation? What are the dark strategies and traumas that have shaped not just his rule, but his very personality? Before we unlock these secrets, make sure you're subscribed, hit like, and share your thoughts in the comments. This episode will challenge your ideas about leadership, control, and the true cost of absolute power. Let's enter the psychological labyrinth of Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un's mind was shaped long before he ever assumed power. Born into a dynasty where loyalty is demanded, yet never guaranteed, he grew up in a world where love and trust were always transactional. The expectations were enormous. Not just to rule, but to continue a mythic family legacy. This burden forged a psyche riddled with both entitlement and fear. His childhood was defined by isolation and surveillance. Kim was never an ordinary child. He was the object of state worship, his every move monitored, his circle tightly controlled. In dark psychology, such upbringing breeds paranoia and a desperate need for approval. Kim learned early that even those closest could become enemies overnight. Trauma is generational in North Korea. The wounds of war, famine, and totalitarian oppression are etched into Kim's family and national psyche. This legacy created a worldview where threats, real or imagined, must be crushed, and loyalty is maintained through fear rather than love. Every story Kim heard growing up reinforced a sense of being chosen and yet perpetually at risk. His identity was tied to both glory and danger, making every relationship and decision a matter of survival. The seeds of paranoia were sown deep, destined to grow as he took the throne. These psychological foundations ensure that Kim rules with suspicion and brutality, always aware that betrayal can come from anywhere, and only absolute power can offer even a moment's safety. Kim Jong-un inherited more than a nation. He inherited the machinery of myth-making. From the moment of his birth, state propaganda elevated him to godlike status. This cult of personality is a classic tool of dark psychology, blurring the line between man and legend. Charisma, in Kim's context, is manufactured. The leader's image is carefully crafted through orchestrated spectacles, parades, and stories of superhuman ability. Citizens are taught from birth to revere him as both protector and genius, never questioning, always worshiping. This creates a feedback loop. Adoration feeds Kim's sense of invincibility, and his every move is designed to reinforce that myth. Manipulation is everywhere. The regime censors all information, bombarding the public with tales of Kim's wisdom and kindness while erasing evidence of mistakes or brutality. Even displays of spontaneous joy are rehearsed, with citizens performing loyalty to avoid suspicion and survive. Spectacle replaces reality. National crises become opportunities for Kim to display strength. His presence at public events is choreographed to seem miraculous. These psychological strategies create a world where the leader is always right, always benevolent, and always in control. Behind the facade, however, Kim knows the truth. His charisma is as fragile as the illusion itself. The fear of losing control drives ever more elaborate displays of power and ever tighter censorship. Kim Jong-un's rule is built on fear. The apparatus of the state is designed to surveil, punish, and destroy even the slightest hint of dissent. This absolute control is not just political, it is deeply psychological, ensuring that terror becomes a daily reality. Isolation is both weapon and defense. Kim surrounds himself with loyalists yet trusts no one. Purges, executions, and disappearances keep subordinates perpetually uncertain, reinforcing the idea that proximity to power is always dangerous. Even family members are not safe. Kim has eliminated close relatives to prevent challenges to his rule. Ruthlessness is essential. In dark psychology, the willingness to inflict pain is the ultimate tool for establishing dominance. Kim's regime is notorious for brutal punishments, public executions, and gulags designed to break both body and spirit. These tactics aren't just for punishment. They're psychological messages to everyone else. Defiance means annihilation. Control extends to every aspect of life. What people wear, where they work, what they say, even what they dream. This total surveillance leaves citizens in a constant state of anxiety, ensuring that loyalty is the only rational response. Yet, this world of fear is also a prison for Kim himself. Isolation breeds paranoia. Every ally is a potential traitor. Every success a possible source of jealousy and rebellion. Kim Jong-un is a master at shaping reality. Propaganda is his most powerful weapon. Every television, newspaper, and school curriculum is calibrated to sustain the myth of his omnipotence. Reality itself is rewritten to suit his needs. Disinformation is deployed internally and externally. Internationally, Kim presents himself as unpredictable, alternating between nuclear threats and overtures for peace, destabilizing foreign adversaries and gaining leverage. Domestically, the regime fabricates stories of prosperity and progress, even as famine and repression persist. Deception operates at every level. Officials are encouraged to lie to please Kim, and Kim himself frequently issues contradictory commands to test loyalty or create confusion. This psychological chaos keeps everyone guessing, cementing his status as the sole source of truth. The psychological toll on the nation is immense. Citizens are taught to distrust their own perceptions and those of others, making collective resistance nearly impossible. Gaslighting, a central tactic in dark psychology, becomes state policy. For Kim, controlling perception is a matter of survival. The truth is whatever he says it is, and those who challenge it pay the ultimate price. If this psychological breakdown of Kim Jong-un is making you rethink the nature of power, hit like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments who should be our next deep dive. Your voice drives this channel. Let's uncover more hidden truths together. The Kim dynasty is haunted by cycles of trauma and betrayal. Kim Jong-un's father and grandfather ruled through similar tactics of fear and myth, but each generation faced new threats. For Kim, this legacy is both inheritance and curse. Family is no refuge. Rivals and relatives alike are monitored, manipulated, and, if necessary, eliminated. The execution of his uncle, once one of his closest advisors, sent shockwaves through the regime, signaling that blood ties are no shield against suspicion. This level of betrayal creates a chilling environment, even at the top. Insecurity drives Kim to constant vigilance. The threat of internal coups, foreign intervention, or even popular revolt is ever present. To cope, Kim cycles between periods of public charm and secret terror, keeping everyone off balance. This trauma shapes his policies. Lavish displays of loyalty are demanded, but never fully trusted. Even acts of kindness may mask ulterior motives, as Kim tests those around him for weakness or hidden ambition. Ultimately, the legacy of trauma creates a leader who is both feared and fundamentally alone. The throne is a cage, one lined with riches, but haunted by ghosts of betrayal and loss. For North Koreans, Kim Jong-un is presented as a source of inspiration, an infallible leader who embodies national strength and resilience. In reality, inspiration and manipulation are indistinguishable. He cultivates a sense of collective destiny. National projects, sports victories, and even personal sacrifices are attributed to his vision and leadership. Citizens are encouraged to see themselves as part of a glorious struggle, with Kim as the father guiding them through adversity. But every moment of inspiration is carefully scripted. The regime orchestrates emotional displays, tears, applause, gifts, at public appearances, ensuring no deviation from the expected script. This performance of loyalty reinforces psychological dependence, making real dissent unthinkable. Manipulation extends beyond borders. Kim's dramatic gestures on the world stage, summits, nuclear tests, sudden disappearances, are designed to shock, confuse, and gain leverage. He understands that unpredictability is power, keeping adversaries unsure and off balance. The result is a psychological state where hope is always conditional, and loyalty is demanded not by love, but by fear of what happens when the leader's favor is lost. With total power comes total isolation. Kim Jong-un's mind is a fortress, impenetrable, yet perpetually besieged by anxiety, suspicion, and the weight of history. The very strategies that maintain his rule also ensure he can never truly trust or relax. Paranoia is both weapon and wound. Kim survives by suspecting everyone, but this vigilance becomes its own torment. Every act of loyalty may hide a threat. Every gesture of kindness could mask betrayal. Even moments of triumph are shadowed by the fear that they are fleeting. The psychological legacy of Kim's rule is devastating. For North Korea, decades of fear and manipulation have created a population that is both resilient and traumatized, capable of enduring hardship, but deprived of agency and truth. For Kim, the price is a life lived in splendid, terrifying isolation, where every smile may hide a dagger. In the end, the true lesson of Kim Jong-un's psychology is the unbearable weight of absolute power. It offers the illusion of safety, but delivers only more fear, suspicion, and loneliness. The mind of a dictator is a mirror, reflecting not just the man, but the darkness at the heart of unchecked authority. Thank you for joining this penetrating look into Kim Jong-un's mind. If you found these insights revealing, subscribe to The Truth Dark Psychology, share your thoughts below, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. The conversation continues in the comments. Your perspective matters. See you in the next psychological deep dive.